evening, Learning Journey. Learning Journey is a part of the healing journey. We welcome you this evening in this Mental Health Awareness Month. Yes, mental health awareness. It is important that you're aware of your mental health. Just like you are your physical health, mental health is more important because it controls so many aspects of your other health in your body, such as your hearing, your vision, your spine. All of that is controlled by everything up here that was engineered by God and implemented by God. So we just thank you for joining us this evening. Lee, welcome.
Thank you, Lynn, and welcome to you and to our Facebook audience and our
Thank
YouTube.
you.
Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you can join us on there if you're not able to, or if you prefer to reach us by Facebook or YouTube. The choice is yours. We prefer the YouTube more so, but sometimes we have some challenges with the Facebook. But either way, it's good for us. But it's so happy to be here today, the day after Mother's Day. It was a wonderful day, wonderful day, wonderful day. Um, as each and every one is. Sometimes they're a little bit different. I don't know about you, but sometimes they're a little bit different for me. But this one was a good one. And I'm so glad. So, because sometimes we have to change.
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
Yes, we do. We have to adapt because they're always the same.
Yes. And that's what it's all about, Lee. Adapting to a nuance, a new way of doing things. And as Lee mentioned, yesterday was Mother's Day. I'm sure there were many of you out there where this may have been your first Mother's Day without your loved one. And you know what? This is change that you had to adapt to. You didn't have to, but it's wise to adapt to that change because going forward, you don't know what's going to happen. So, good mental health is needed when you're transitioning and going through some challenging but possible events in your life. You must learn the right mindsets and strategies in order to handle change. And it's important as we talk about that change. Lee, I look at Facebook. Facebook is making some changes, so that's why we encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. That way, you'll never miss one of our broadcasts. It'll be on there. It will remind you. It's easy to get on once you subscribe to that channel. So we encourage you to do that. Also, when you're going through change, acknowledge the change. Acknowledge, you know what, I'm going through some changes right now. Let me acknowledge that I'm going through the change. Recognize and accept that change is a part of life. You cannot live in this life with not looking at and recognizing change. Look what happened in January. We have a new president, new cabinet, and there have been a lot of changes that happened. We were all, ready for noticing that we knew there were going to be changes. So know that this situation, yes, recognize there are going to be changes. Suppressing emotions or denying change, that's only going to increase your stress and anxiety. So realize that, acknowledge it, and plan. Manage the expectations. Understand that the adaptation takes time. Nothing happens overnight. Your baby doesn't learn to walk overnight. You don't learn things on your new job overnight. Things take time. New skills, you acquire them within time. So give yourself grace. God gives us grace. When certain things happen, Lord, take this from me. But you know what? It doesn't happen overnight sometimes. God has us sit in it and challenges us. He says, I want you to have faith in me that I'm going to pull you out. So remember, that's change. We got to learn to trust God to pull us out. And then be patient with yourself and others as you adjust. Be patient. And that's the thing. And I'm very impatient. But I'm going to tell you one thing, God has definitely showed me patience in this situation. This situation has shown me patience. As I went last week to see my son, I had to have patience with the flights, I had to have patience with driving. Everything you do, it requires you to be patient. I tried something new in Raleigh Durham's airport where they have food lockers. I didn't see that. I had to be patient. I'm like, okay, where's my food? My flight, where's my food? I had to be patient, knowing that it was going to come out in a minute. But I wanted that instant gratification because I could not see it. And think about our loved ones who are incarcerated. We can't see what's happening, and we want that instant gratification. Practice self compassion. Be compassionate with yourself. Speak to yourself kindly, especially during setbacks. Understand that struggling is a natural part of growth. Without that, you know, think about it. Lee, would you like to add anything?
Um, well, we know that change feels uncomfortable in the process. And if you feel uncomfortable in that process and stuff, just know that you are normal. Our lives are constantly shifting and changing, as you said. We have deaths in the families, there's a baby, there's marriages, there's divorce, there's new relationships, new jobs, all kind of different things, as well as a new president, as you said. We have to adapt to change because the world is unpredictable. And then we have to take a moment to process the change, change that is. We have to process it. You can't go from one mode to an instant. You got to take a moment and process it with that patience, like you said. We got to learn to breathe through it. Give
Mm-hmm.
grace. Take,
Mm-hmm.
because if we don't adapt to change, and we are always going through some change, we can often feel stagnant. We feel stuck in one place, and you don't want to do that. So we have a way of limiting our growth, and we stifle our creativity and reduce our chances to meet or connect. Change. Change is good, and it's often happening or so. So we have to move with it or so.
Definitely. Definitely. You know, we need to stay connected too.
We
One
do.
of the important parts of change is to stay connected. Talk to friends, talk to family. You have a support group. You can also talk to, if you don't have a support group, maybe this is a good time to change and get a support group. And that way you'll always be connected where, if you need to talk to someone, and if you need to talk to someone, find a mental health counselor. It's okay. It's change. That's another thing of change. If you've never talked with a counselor, maybe it's time for that change to help as well, because that counselor will be able to help you through this process. Remember, this is a process that you're going through, and your loved one is going through it as well. It's a process and change. Establish routines. Some people have routines that they establish. Consistent daily routines can provide stability during uncertain times. Say, for instance, you go to the store on Tuesday mornings, that is a stable, consistent routine. Keep up with that because you need to get out of that environment, and that can do a lot for you. Include healthy habits when you talk about a routine, such as your regular sleep, meals, and exercise. Have a routine. I will stay healthy today. I will go out and walk. I don't care if you just walk to them to get your mail. You got to get out. And that vitamin D3 is so good for you, and that's the sunshine. Now, we know there's rain all around, but you can walk around in your place. If you stand in space right there in place and lift your legs up and down, that can also give you that routine. Focus on what you can control. Something's out of your hands right now, like the legal system. You might be in between a hearing or, whatever. That is out of your control. You cannot control that. So I want you to learn to redirect your focus on actionable steps, steps that you can definitely take. Avoid fixation on what is out of your control. I don't know how many times we get fixated on something and know it's out of our control, then our anxiety starts. And this whole process may be out of your control. You may be waiting 9 or 10 months, until they go to hearing or to the cases, brought before the judge. It's out of your control. There's nothing you can do. So focus your attention on things you can do. Build resilience skills,
Mhm.
you know, build those resilience skills. Practice mindfulness or meditation to ground yourself. Reframe your challenges as opportunities for growth. Remember that. Challenges, you grow from them unless you give up. And we're not going to let you give up. You got to stick with this because you need to help your loved ones stick with it. So these are challenges for growth.
Yeah.
Other
Yeah.
parents do it, other wives do it, other grandmothers do it. You can do it too. And that's why we're on here supporting you, letting you know you can do it. Every day's not going to be easy. We're not going to paint, you know, that picture, but I want you to change your lens and let yourself know I can do this. I'm doing it. I've done it this long. Lee, would you like to comment?
Well, you were speaking about changing your lens and stuff, and it made me think of one thing that we had spoke about before, as far as reframing. And you spoke about, or we talked about looking at a different picture,
Mm-hmm.
taking from moving away from the old picture to something new and putting a frame around that and settling with that. Not settling, but taking that for the moment or so. And we also talked about not worrying about things,
Mm-hmm.
everything. So that's something else that we need to think about when we're looking at that. But I really do like that, the one with, as you said, with reframing.
Mm-hmm.
Give a different picture to look at and stuff. It can be prettier. It can be much better than the old.
Mm-hmm.
We have to change, as you said, and we got to leave that change. What we're moving from, that in the past. Let it be in the past, and let's move to the present and look toward the future.
Amen. I like that, Lee. Thank you so much for that analogy. I like that. We do. We need to leave it in the past and look towards the future. Yes, I got you. That's good. Also, limit your overexposure to stressors. If Sally Sue, Jimmy Joe stress you out, limit your exposure to them. You don't have to answer that phone. Let it roll to voicemail. Turn that phone on, do not disturb. That is limiting your overexposure. If they stress you out, you're going to limit that conversation or limit that exposure to them so you can have balance in your life. Reduce your media intake or
Mhm.
avoid negative environments if they add stress. I don't know how many people are stressed out by the news right now. Stay off of it. As our good friend Gail says, turn on the Cartoon Network. Stay off of the news. A lot of this is done to engage you, and you have to watch as well as pray. Stay off of it, but you know what? Pray. Ask God to expose to you what He needs to expose to you and stay off of that. Do something else. Do something else. Limit that exposure. Create boundaries to protect your mental space. If you have that one person that always calls you combative and this and that, create the boundary. Say, look, you know what? Right now, I am so busy. Maybe you need to check in and get some counseling. Or maybe, you need to sit and pray and stay by yourself right now for a moment. You allow certain things into your midst to stress you out. And sometimes you got to just be quiet and stay, you just got to let that person know, this is my day to recoup. This is what I do on this day. This is my rest day or whatever. That's making that clear boundary. And that's good. Lee, do you have do you know some folks like that or have any things like that.
I certainly don't have a perfect world, so I know some people like each and every one of those or so, and it's so important that you have to create boundaries because otherwise they are all in your space and all in space, and you never have time for yourself. So it's very important that we take care of I got to take care of me. Lynn, you have to take care of you. So in order to do, times we have to shut it down and
Hmm.
spend time with us, as you said.
Yeah.
And one other thing that you mentioned also was about the media. And I thought CNN right away and stuff. And you often talk about shut it off, shut it off. And the
Okay.
thing, the media is most of the time what they show up here, to me, this is just my way of feeling. It's actually what's going on anyway. They're showing you something they can keep you away from the reality of what's actually going on. So
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
be careful with that and stuff, and don't let it absorb too much of your day, because there are so many other real things out there that's going on. And caregivers, you got to take care of yourself, because you have loved ones depending on you
Yes.
in such a mindset when you see them or speak to them or talk to them, that needs to should be positive when you speak with them. They're depending on you and they're counting on you. We have to be there for them in time of need.
Exactly. And it is so importantly that you said that we have to pick and choose. And when you pick and choose, then things happen. Don't let anybody pick and choose for you. We can pick and choose where we want to go and what we want to do. And like I said before, there's so much negativity out there. Choose to be free from the negativity because this can bring you down. Then guess what happens? It creates a stressor for you. You can't sleep at night. It affects your eating. Maybe you're overeating or under eating, so watch what you put into this right here. Watch what you put into this. Put some good stuff into it. Ask God to guard this right here, to help you guard it. And that is the best way to pray. Just pray, be mindful, being in the moment, and being mindful. That exercise, the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I don't know if you all remember that, but it's 5 things you can see, 4 things you can hear, 3 things you can feel, 2 things you can smell, 1 thing you can taste. You're using all of your senses and you're being mindful. And that way you are helping yourself to block out what's over here and what's over there, but you're in the moment. You're in the here and now. And it's important to stay in the here and now. As we said before, change is hard to adapt to sometimes. And the older you get, the harder it is to change. You look at our world right now. Some of the older people are having a problem with technology because it has changed drastically. You have to stay up on it. And what I challenge you to do is maybe go to check out your library in your state. Libraries offer a lot of classes that are free. So make sure that you are doing something like that, which is free, to learn to stay up with the internet because soon things are changing. Everything is going to be on the web. If you don't know what you're doing, guess what happens?
Left behind.
You're left behind. Don't get left behind. And certain communities are more left behind than others. So stay on top of things. Lee, would you like to add anything to that?
I think you covered everything pretty well, Lynn, as far as adapt change, and change is always change is good, and it's always going to be there. We don't want to stay stagnant in the moments that we're in. Stay up with the change so that you'll be able to move forward with all of what's happening in the world. So that you can stay up with that.
Exactly. And then seek meaning of purpose.
Oh,
Try to find personal growth, values, or goals in the midst of change. Try to find that the growth, the values, the goals. Right as you're changing, okay, now I see why that's changed. Okay, my value has changed because of that. And then ask, what can I learn from this? Or what matters most? What matters right now? So remember, thoughts, behaviors, and emotions, TBE, very, very important. So, what can you learn from this whole experience? This whole experience can break you or make you.
mm,
And think about what Lee said, staying on top for your loved one. You're there to support them. Well, who's going to support the supporter? There are plenty options out there. Seek and ye shall find. If you're having any problems, just reach out to us. We'll be more than happy to let you know some resources and some things. And I just mentioned the library with some classes you can take, and they are free. So get in touch with the libraries in your city, and you'll find some free resources out there. Also, there are some uh, jail and prison ministries in the communities. You know what? Be a part of it. Be a part of it. Learn all you can learn. So that is very, very important for you as well. Lee?
The church also has a lot of programs also
Mhm.
that you can join that are free. And they're also volunteering at different places. Once you get some of this knowledge, perhaps you can help someone in like a nursing facility
Mhm.
so that they can learn something. If you just be patient with them, take some time to show them how to go through some of this stuff. Sometimes you'd be surprised how quickly they will pick up on some of these things too, if someone would just take the time to show them.
Mhm.
That it's important that we know all of the stuff, or some of it we possibly can, because the world is moving. It's
Ooh.
moving.
Yes, it is. It is moving so fastly. And I think that's what it is. People need to get on board. They need to get on board. It's moving so fast. And, it can be stressful as fast as it's moving, but the key word, don't get left behind. And I want you to really know that change does not happen overnight. Some people, it takes a longer time to adapt to it. So make sure that you are not rushing the process. Everything is a process. And if you rush it, you're going to miss some important parts that go into that change. So make sure that you are taking each day as it comes and adapting the best that you can. That is it for us tonight. We really wanted to talk about change because of Mother's Day yesterday. And, we heard some things. Some mothers were, suffering because this was the first year that they did not have their loved one. And then, change. This is Mental Health Month. Mental health awareness. Get up every day and be aware of your mental health. I'm suffering today. I feel depression coming on. I'm super anxious. I need to reduce that. I need to talk to somebody. Remember, Mental Health Awareness Month is there so you're aware of your mental health. It is vitally important. So make sure that you're checking in. And we will see you in, 2 weeks. I don't think we're going to see you because that is the holiday. That's Memorial Day. So you know what? We're going to barbecue and take that day off too, right, Lee?
Yes. Sound.
So we will see you in June. And we just thank you. And we hope that you have a safe holiday weekend. And we look forward to bringing you some more things to help you along the learning journey. This is the healing journey. But you know what? We're on the learning journey. So we can heal as we learn and go forward in life. We can't stay where we are. We have to move forward. Remember that. Unstick yourself like the jello. Jello, we got to shake it out of the mold. Well, we're here to shake you out of that mold. You can't sit in it. We have to move you forward. You're on a journey. The journey moves forward, not backwards. So you're with us, and we take pride and care in helping you move forward. So until we see you again, Lee, would you have your closing remarks?
Forget to subscribe to that YouTube channel.
Please, please, that is very important. Please, because as we said, our videos will not be saved on here, but on YouTube, they will be saved. So make sure that you subscribe and there will be no problems in getting on. Until June, peace be with you all. God bless. Bye bye.